want to thank me.
Hey. To all the young people out there.
I'm here because of you.
How do I get rich?
You're gonna suffer the difficulty of being invisible.
400 trillion to
I'm 50 million nobody.
But it's more important to be nice.
No one should be capable of it.
Until I started winning.
Cause on a mission, your worst enemy is idle.
All right. So, Idle Time Podcast. We're here. We're back. So, we got a young bull this time. We got Jordan Lockhart. Lock in the fucking name. This kid is going to be on television. This kid's going to be a household name. Or my name is Michael Wolf. So, we got Jordan Lockhart, national champion, state champion.
What's going on?
Fucking killer of a fucking linebacker. Family-oriented. Always repping his big S. You know, we got a Polynesian in the house. You see him representing the Polynesian football game. There we go. Hey, this is what we're here for. 6'3", 6'4" in cleats, 230, fast as fuck, long as fuck, and a killer on the field, can play every position. They just they all lucky he can't play quarterback. Yeah, he probably take their position too. So we're here. We're gonna talk about some shit. We're gonna talk about his life. We're gonna talk about football, obviously. We're gonna talk about the last draft, his draft class, high school, mindset, motivation. We're gonna try to talk about everything, and we're gonna try to see if we can keep y'all entertained. So first of all, Jordan, thank you for coming out.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We can get right into it, man. We were just talking before the cameras turned on about your loss to what you call the ops. He says he's not gonna say their name. So just jump into that. You're a national champion. You guys blew them out. St. John Bosco, fucking dominant fucking school, full of killers, right? Full of D1 players. Walk us through the year you won and walk us through the last year when you guys didn't get to ride off in the sunset. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, like games like those, our coach always tells us, games like this is going to come down to who makes the least mistakes, because it's a competitive environment in the Trinity League, top in America. You know what I mean? So I'll say like my junior year and everything, we were just, everything was perfect, like in the locker room from preparation, leading up to the night of the game in the Rose Bowl where we took it from them. You know what I mean? We left no regret on the field. Mm-hmm. Now I'll say, not where we really went wrong at the following year where we lost in the Coliseum. I'll say, hats off to the Ops, but unfortunately, they were just the better team that night on special teams, offense, defense. It's like the biggest three indicators our coach talks about. We got to win all three of those indicators, offense, defense, and special teams. And we just didn't execute enough to, come out victorious. So, you know what I mean? But
yeah, you guys cost me like $20. I streamed the damn game on my phone. Yeah. I think I was at dinner or at a fight or something, and I had it on my phone, and I was watching. And then as the game, got to the conclusion, I was like, that was gonna hurt for them. That was gonna hurt. I was like, especially when the kids that are not gonna go too deep into college. I know being one of your last games, that's like for those kids, it's gonna like really hurt.
Of course, it's never a way you want to end off. Anybody, no matter what level you're at, you should never want to end off your senior year, losing to, your rival school. But when it was like third quarter, you kind of had that, idea of like, okay, this is not going our way. Son, my brother told me before every game, win or lose, go get yours regardless. So it was just like, just play to the very last, play and everything, like all like.
Pin your ears back and go for it.
Yeah, just keep going, you know what I mean? Not all gas, no brakes. So, but it was a great time though. But
I mean, you guys showed out. It just wasn't your night. Yeah. So Israel Adesanya gave a quote that he got from Dave Chappelle, who I don't know who he got it from, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it went, be grateful enough to understand when you're living your dreams, but be humble enough when you realize when you're in somebody else's. So something like that. And that was one of those situations where when you guys won, it was like, it was your dream. Like, it's your dream moment. Yeah. But when you guys lost the following year, sometimes you got to realize you guys were in their dream. That was their fucking fairy tale ending, and you guys are just part of their story. And sometimes you got to be humble to take when it's not your turn. Yeah. So you took it in stride, and off to the next level. It was college. So take us into that that thing of going through all these schools and you had offers from pretty much everywhere. So first, run us through all the offers you have for the people that don't fucking know, people that just like think you chose this one school or maybe you had an offer or two. Go into, can you tell us all the offers you had and then we'll go into what led you to help make your decision you made.
Okay. We're gonna start with USC, Alabama, Michigan, Tennessee. What else? Oregon State, Utah, Alabama. The list goes on.
Ole Miss.
Ole
Yeah, you
Miss.
did have the Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Oh my gosh, I got. It makes me want to just go look it up. Real quick,
Yeah,
just
so
I
you
can
got
maybe,
like the
organize.
moral of the fucking story is he had a lot of offers. So first, how was it visiting all these schools and putting all these jerseys on and doing the photo ops? Like, did any of them from the jump just feel right, or did they all feel right and it was a hard choice? Some of them just instantly feel wrong. How did that work out?
Um, I mean, away from the photos, I think the biggest thing was just me personally, that me and my father always talked about, like go to a school where you feel like you're going to get developed, where where you could pursue at the next level, because that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is not to go to like really, because I grew up wanting to go to SC,
Mm-hmm.
you
Of
know
course.
what I mean, but just unfortunately and stuff, I felt like my better chances of bettering myself off the field and on the field was in the SEC. So
I
that's
agree.
where, my focus going into my junior year started changing a little bit. I started just looking into like schools like Ole Miss, Alabama, even the Big Ten, Michigan. They just won the
Yeah.
national championship, for those who don't know, and really Texas A&M. But the biggest thing was because, unfortunately, due to coaching changes yearly, coaches will go to the NFL, coaches will stay, they will get fired, or they'll go to elsewhere because of so and so reason that no one will really ever figure out.
Talk about
why.
making the right choice when it comes to Michigan. You would have went thinking about Harbaugh and he would have left.
Exactly.
So that could fuck you up.
Yeah, so I had already predicted, because I was actually going to commit to, me and my dad were talking about like our chances of going to Michigan is really high, because it's Michigan,
Yeah.
go blue.
There we
You know
go.
what I mean? But the biggest thing, I just had a feeling that Coach Harbaugh was going to go back to the NFL, which I'm glad we were right.
Yeah.
But wish him the best, and thanks for recruiting me, Coach, if you're watching this right now.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, so that's where I had to be realistic with myself and start going back to the drawing board, because sometimes what you want is sometimes not always what's best for you. It's like what's best for you is really where you don't seek the most. And I felt like the biggest school was A&M, because I wanted to go to Bama, I want to go to Michigan, but it's just like coaching changes and this and that. So now the questions started changing a little bit. Now me and my dad, we started having different type of sit down conversations at the table. And you say, okay, but if coaches are changing and this and that, now you got to commit to the school and not to the coaches, regardless of the coaching changes. So going into my senior year, I was heavily being recruited by A&M. Shout out to Coach DJ Durkin. And I took a tour, for my unofficial, and I came back for my official, and just seeing the atmosphere, seeing the school. And I've been to everywhere across the country. I've done seen it all, but nothing beats A&M. The culture, the Aggie network, like that's
Good
something.
shit.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff that
You're
happens.
gonna have to bring me out there one day so I can see it.
Oh yeah, for
Cause
sure.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard, but obviously it's different to see. And you have a family member there, right? In A&M.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So did that help make your decision?
No, not really, because nothing against him. It's just I just wanted to do what's best for me, because
That
this
works.
because this is the path that I
That's
gotta
what,
walk
that's
at
what we
the
want to
end of
hear.
the day.
That you made a decision based on you, and you didn't take it in stride by yourself. It was a family decision. Your dad helped you. The person that helped get you here, you made sure he stayed involved. Did any NILs make any difference when it comes to decisions?
I think that always plays a factor of where guys go. It's just really why, for people who don't know, now I think the biggest thing where the transfer portal opens because of NIL, because of that topic by itself. So I think that's what get guys to go in the portal and guys to come out of the portal to go to different schools, which is really more reasons why I feel like guys really got to go to the school because my personal thing was because like people don't know, I committed for like three things: food, football, mainly football,
There we go.
and family. You know what I mean? And I felt like they hold
They
those three indicators because
they checked all the boxes.
They checked off all three of those boxes because I'm happy with all those. Like you can't beat Texas barbecue, man. You know what I mean? But football, it was just great out there, and I just felt like it was a spot for me because I know if a coach was to leave, I'm still happy. I'm not hitting no portal. I'm not doing any of that. Like this is where I want to be at, and I'm gonna make it, what it is. And when Jimbo,
Well, I'm pretty sure a bunch of coaches love to hear that shit because at this point it's easier to leave with the transfer portal than it is to stay 3 years in a row with anything. These days it just makes more sense to play the market every fucking year.
Yeah.
So for somebody like you to come in and be like, I'm here, and let's play. That's definitely some good shit. And then obviously you go anywhere else, you miss the Texas food. So stay put.
mainly football. I don't want people to. That's like the food's a 25%.
Football, food, they're like clothes, but we're gonna edge football out.
Family was to the T.
Families, it's there. Food though, it's all about the food.
Food is always on the outside.
There you go.
and everything. Plus, you're running the human, so you're constantly, burning calories and everything. But that's a topic for another time.
Good shit. So we talked about you and your position off camera, about what in the next 3 years where you think your size would be, right? You're still growing. You're only 19 years old. You're still growing. And I asked you, do you want to get like bigger? What kind of linebacker do you plan to be? Like more of the old school Urlachers or do you want to be more lean? You want to go into that a little bit?
Of course. Growing up, I always wanted to be like, I want to be, because I was already tall. So I want to be like, what if I just put on size and just look like straight Voltron out there?
Yeah.
But now that's not what it is. It's a game of speed. You know what I mean? So, I started camp off at 235, but I moved down towards 230, and I want to be that type of linebacker. But
did you feel heavy when you were running around?
I felt heavy. I mean, I was still running fast, but now I know I can run. Like, the truth is, I know I can run faster. You know what I mean? So that's why I just dropped the weight and still just lean, long, and heavy. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be too heavy. It's like carrying, 10
Have you done any
weight.
40 times recently, unofficial or official?
Nah, but the last time I clocked in at 4 was at Bama, 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah,
4.5 at 235 as a linebacker. Y'all heard that shit. That's first round type fucking numbers.
Yeah.
That's good shit, man. A lot of people wish they can be that speed.
Yeah.
So the S you throw up, right? The Samoan culture, the Polynesian culture. What does that mean to you to be able to go out there and be, possibly the next face of Polynesian football? Right, we people love the Junior Seau's, the Palomalus. They had built big following. How's that feel to kind of be right now, probably the face of Samoan football in college?
Yeah. Well, me throwing up the S, it means nothing but the role. Like there's a meaning to it. Every time I throw up the S, there's like a strong meaning to it. Cause my childhood, we grew up in a strict Samoan household. Our church, Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah,
everyone there speaks Samoan. And all my friends and cousins were from Samoa.
Yep.
So they were out here and they didn't get the opportunity I had because they were out here, doing tree trimming work. They left their families to go provide out here in the mainland over there.
Yeah.
And if you see them, they're like all 6'5", look just like me.
But we all know, everybody knows fucking Samoans are the little brother is 6'3", 260 and runs a 4.7. That's just how y'all built, man. Yeah, you guys are built to be like crazy athletic, which is great.
Yeah, so just growing up, just seeing the opportunities that I have, I wanted to put, a small island or island Samoa on the map. So like when I have so many friends, shout out to Luki, Fred, they're back on the island, working and everything. So every time I throw up the S, it's really just it's a symbolization to represent all the, my people in Samoa, to let them know work, and we're just going to, us as Polynesians, we're going to come up and just put in work and execute. But that's really what it means to me. Just every time I throw up the S, is really just representing my island, and really for all the kids, in the island of Samoa who don't have the opportunity that I had growing up, just play football, and that's really it.
That's good shit, man. Bring the culture back out, make that shit mainstream. How's it gonna feel that first time, tens of thousands of people throw up a big S after you catch that third down sack or that interception for a touchdown, and you look at the crowd and they naturally on their own throw up that big S with you? How's that gonna feel?
Yeah, it's gonna feel cool, man, because I had a little experience of that in high school because I always did it after every play. So every time I made a big hit, like the whole student section would just throw it up,
Yeah.
without me even saying anything. So that's like my plan in college and everything. Just want to really just put it, on the map. But the feeling is just gonna be undescribable. It's something that you probably seen like in the movie.
Yeah.
You can't script this. It's just something that, but it just shows. I think it's a symbolization of our culture, and it's just love and respect, and just for have people who really don't know me, they just the fan base you see like that, what our culture stands for, and they like they're doing
Yeah.
that after every play or every hit. I think it's just going to amplify the Polynesian culture and really the island of Samoa.
Look, I'll be throwing it up from home when I'm watching the games. You make a good play, I'm gonna be at home in the living room with throwing up that big S for you.
Hell yeah.
So, because it's nothing but all love from this side. Because Polynesian culture, short of take away football, the Polynesian culture. My wife always makes fun of me because I always tell me she's laughing right now because I always tell people that like if I could pick a culture, it'd be the Polynesian culture. Just
Appreciate
you don't
it.
see you rarely see Polynesian crackheads. You rarely see Polynesian. There's like they'll send you back to the island before you do it because the family culture. Right. Unfortunately, black culture, we would let each other fail a lot. Right. We want to be better than the next person. And every culture has its downs and ups, but the Polynesian culture is one massive, big culture of love. You could be the biggest gangster in the Polynesian culture, but if the grandmother walks out of the house, I've seen it where I've seen full-fledged gang members, but that old lady, she walk out, everybody got nothing but respect for her because you just don't, and so that's a respect because there's no fear, right? She's 5'8", 5'6", 5'8" lady, and the big 6'5" gang member with his red rag. He's big Polynesian. He's a big OG. Ain't nobody talk back to her though. And that's only a few coaches in the world. Really, I think that I've met have that family culture like a Polynesian culture. And I've been to a Samoan church before. I didn't understand shit they were saying, but I'm not gonna lie, it was turned up. It was great. They did the I don't know what it's called, but there's this little thing you do at the end of the church. Everybody's running left and then running right. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I was like 12 years old. It was one of the best days I ever had. That's why I think it's the last time I ever been to church.
Yeah.
So I'm a God fearing dude, but I fuck with the culture because you guys represent your culture almost always in a positive way. There's not a lot of things in the media of negativity when it comes to Samoan culture. And black people, obviously, right now, we kind of are back and forth. So, shout out to you making sure that culture is felt nationally because it's definitely something you have the power to do. And like I said, I think right now you're the face of Polynesian football in college. Yeah, there's a lot out there, but there's not a lot of people that represent the way you represent
Appreciate
and talented enough to make sure people are seeing it.
Yeah.
So that's good shit. Let's get into another topic. We're gonna stick football related for now, but NFL, right? We talked about the NFL draft. When you see these kids getting drafted right now, and do you ever look at them and think to yourself, like at the same age, they weren't even nowhere near as talented as you? Do you like look at that and tell yourself, oh yeah, I'm in the NFL for sure because that guy ain't got nothing on me? Or is it more of a homage and just like, fuck it, I can't compare myself to anybody. I'll get there when I get there. What is your take on it?
Oh, if I'm being quite honest, I think it's really both. And I'm gonna use Andrew Cooper for example at A&M. I studied him like my really most of my high school career coming up to because A&M was a school I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
And he has no shame. His first 2 years, it was more of like relying on just straight athletic ability, talent, and everything. He was always a playmaker, run across, use the speed, all that stuff. So it was just raw talent. And seeing how he developed into like that breakout season that put him as the number one linebacker to get picked out of the draft, it was really special to watch because I watched his growth throughout his whole time at A&M and everything. And talking to a recent defensive coordinator, DJ Durkin, he said straight up, you know what I mean? Like the biggest thing he made strive was really just like his whole development as a football player. And compared to where he started his first 2 years and from being from like just another linebacker to the linebacker in the SEC, the best linebacker. It was something I took a lot of pride in with me coming up because nothing against him. It's just I feel like, I'm at a higher advantage just because of, everyone's different. Everyone learns differently and everything. I just feel like, I'm developing, but I'm at a place where I could just like I'm growing off because I spent, at an early time in a different type of situation and environment of the stuff I was exposed to in high school, football terminology coming from St. John Bosco. I'm going into college with like already knowing 85% of all that stuff. Still more learning to do. I'm not perfect, but I'm like, okay, I could pick this up. I could do this like right now.
In short terms, you're confident as fuck in your abilities. You know what you're good at, and being able to learn from these dudes and take what you have that can't be taught, learn from them. You already know that if you put it all together, it's going to be the whole fucking total package.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm only, not saying I got it all figured out because I just got to and I've only been there for 5 months.
Yeah.
And when you have like a self-reflection after, your spring ball is done, you start seeing like, oh, like shit, like I'm really not that far away than where I think. Of course, like I'm always going to put myself at a 40%. I'm never going to say I'm at 100% just so you work like, you know what I mean? Like you're, because our coach Elko, he told us all the time, the moment you think you're there, it's the day you fall off.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, so
because then you plateau. You got to have something to strive for.
Yeah, so always keep yourself at 40% and everything, even though you know for a fact, like
you got to be able to coach your mind. Somebody ranks you. What are you 1 through 10? You're never a 10. And it's the name of the podcast. On a mission, your worst enemy is idle time. You start thinking you're a 10, you'll start to idle. And that doesn't work on missions. You got to keep pushing. And the way to keep pushing is to put yourself in the mindset of there's always things to work on, because there really is always things to work on. Even if you're the best, you still got to work on some shit. It's just, you have to. So that's, for a 19-year-old kid, right? When we fast forward this, when you're getting drafted, you'll be a little bit older. But that's the beauty of this is when you're saying this for your draft day and you're saying this in your pro days, this is nothing new for you. This is how you came out of high school. This is how you were raised. So when this gets out, you're built for this lifestyle. You're built for somebody who's ready to compete, earn everything he gets, not be handed anything. And you look like you got ice water in your veins, that you're not worrying about any situation, that you're willing to take on all situations, head first, because old school mindset, it seems like you have a loss is just a loss. Like it's part of winning, right? They're two sides of the same coin. You're not scared of a little failure to get to success. So that's good shit, man. To be your age and to have that mindset, you're definitely raised right, and you're definitely coached right. So all the coaches, shout out to all his coaches in the past and his father, because you guys and the rest of the family, but you guys definitely got a kid with head on his shoulders, because hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You got a kid here. You're a kid that has the talent and more than enough than hard work to put it together. So obviously we're going to watch your career fucking skyrocket, and I'm here for it, right? Jordan Lockhart to the moon. But question for you. Some just, basic, weird questions I always like to ask people. So if you can go back, right? Normally I ask older people, you can go back to when you're younger, what would you tell your younger self? You're low-key young right now, so you can't go too much younger. Yeah. But if you can go back to, let's say, any moment in the last 4 years and tell yourself, younger self, something that you think that you would need to hear, what would it be?
Just tying up, just focus on what's important and everything, which I think I did a really great job throughout my whole career. I never partied, never drank, smoked, and everything to this day. So I feel like I'm on the right track. Like I said, there's not really too much I could go too far back, because I start maturing. When going into freshman year, you start seeing I played receiver. I didn't even play defense. I had zero experience on defense. You know what I mean? Like I was, played little, but that's Pop Warner. Yeah, that's a whole different topic. But anyways, was if I was to go back, would just really just continue to remind myself like just tying up and just really just continue to work hard, which I did a great job at and everything. Yeah, but
yes, like we said, there's always things you can improve. Yeah. So good shit. Like I say, you can't go too far back because you're still in the developmental phase. Would you believe me if I told you I've never been high, I've never been tipsy, none of that in my life?
I'm looking at this floor and all the stuff you got around. So yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people never believe that about me. It's crazy shit. I remember a nurse one day in high school. I go to a nurse for a headache. First time I've been a nurse, 4 years in high school. I'm a senior. Yeah. And she tells me I have a hangover. I'm like, well, I don't have a hangover. I've been a nurse for this, y'all. I know what a hangover when I see a hangover. You need to start partying so much. I'm thinking to myself, bitch, like, I don't even like the taste of alcohol. Like, it just, fuck not drinking. It tastes bad. But that's the problem is nobody ever believes me because, you know, your tattoos or you're cool and you have to, I'm like, nah, I don't, never been high. Don't know what it feels like. Never been drunk. Don't know what it feel like. And it's just crazy. So nobody ever believes me. Appreciate you for believing me.
I'm not gonna say a name or anything like that. I had the same experience.
Man, fuck that. Say the name.
And this had
You're not in high school no more.
yeah.
That's on them. If they
I
treated,
wanna
if
get
they
fired.
treated you wrong, that's on them to deal with it. But it's all right. You don't got to say a name.
But anyway, I'm gonna share this with everyone. So I'm a big sunglasses guy. I wear sunglasses for no reason. You know what I mean? So
Or hats after a haircut. I get you.
So you know when you so when you pull up, you know, to class on time, you never miss. You're doing everything, you know, what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like you're handling your business and everything. So, and what pissed me off the most is that I went during lunchtime. This is during lunch. Everyone's outside playing on the rec and everything. So I come in to get some extra working with, you know, my teacher / tutor and
Yeah.
everything like that. You know what I mean? But she was the assistant. So this is why I was even more open to be pissed off at her and everything, which I really don't do because, you know, I'm a great guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like, just smile and stuff like that. I'm never the type of guy to spaz out or anything like that. I always try to choose peace just because of like, you know, my upbringing from my
Yeah.
parents always just like keeping me humble and stuff. So there's never really a moment where I was just like, but I think this was the only time where I kind of like had a little like back and forth with the teacher.
She got you out your character.
Yes, just a little bit and everything. Really, actually, a lot. I lied. My bad. Yeah, so I had my glasses on. You know, I'm doing my work, but I was like, you know, I was yawning because you know, it's school, bro. You're there for like the whole time. And then, you know, I took my glasses off. I was actually like this. Exactly what I did. So after I put my water bottle down, I'm doing my work, and she was like, Jordan. So I look up. I'm like, and she was like, are you high? So I looked at her. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
So what?
Excuse me, so what?
Yeah. So I told her I was like, what? So I was like going back and forth, like, what do you look like? You know, accusing me, like, you know what I mean? You feel what I'm
just
saying?
jump right to
yeah,
like,
because like I feel like you can never assume. You assume things, but and, you know, we talk. I did tell the teacher because she was, you know, because she kept saying, oh, you're cheating, you're this and that and stuff like that. Everyone had to take you through a report and everything because, you know, she just couldn't help to see I was just balling in the classroom. So I took it up with the teacher.
she couldn't believe you.
Yeah, she couldn't believe
You
me.
were as advertised, and it felt wrong to her because in her head there had to be something off about it.
Yeah,
man, that's the
shit.
story of my
Like,
fucking life.
Yeah.
Some of the Asian kids in my high school used to copy off of me, and I'm telling you, the teachers didn't want to hear none of that shit. And I'm like, because I didn't do homework, right? I didn't need homework. To me, homework is a study so you can pass the test.
Yeah.
I was smart enough to get it when they taught it in class, so I didn't need to go home and do homework. I got it. You taught me the same shit Monday to Thursday. When you give me a test Friday, as long as it's the same shit you taught me, I was good. But they couldn't believe it. I'm the black kid. I'm the sports guy, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and I guess playing sports somehow, you play sports, maybe they watch too much TV where the sports guys are supposed to be idiots. It's like, no, I'm actually smart too. I just like sports, motherfucker. And I was always
have something
high.
against football players.
I swear to God they do.
Yeah,
I
they have
swear
something
to
against football
fucking God.
players.
It's like, we just can't be smart and guess and be in the helmet.
Because I'll tell you this, we're a
It's
private.
crazy.
We are a private school. Our whole school we're international school. We have kids from, you know, different religions, different ethnicities, all
Different
across
parts of the
board.
world, yeah.
I'm in a class. Have you ever been in a class where everyone in there speaks Chinese?
I was actually in Chinese class for 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so my whole class all spoke Chinese. All like it's like 18, 19 kids who all from China and everything. So, you know, you get this guy's, you know, a kid coming in, you know, at lunchtime. I'm with all the Asian sitting right next to all the Asian kids, Lee and
Yeah.
you know, Lynn.
It's a bunch of Lees and Lins, yeah.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I'm doing my work and the teacher's like, you know, she's seeing these guys and they're always there every day. So I pulled up the first time and she was like, are you high?
Oh.
You know what I mean? And that ruined my whole day because I was like, that's everything.
It's stereotypical,
yeah,
man.
exactly what I'm saying.
So look, I taught, this is the one, I know like basic, ni hao, whatever. I passed Chinese class, A's and B's. Anybody want to go pull a transcript? I passed it. I don't speak a lick of Chinese.
Yeah.
The one thing I still know how to say, and it's not perfect, is inwe washu heiran. And it's for any Chinese people, correct me, but it means it's because I'm black. I learned that specifically to tell the fucking teacher because the way she treated me, I had to learn in her language how to tell her it's because I'm black.
Oh shoot.
And that's the one thing I'll never forget is learn how to say it's because I'm black in Chinese because it was a stereotypical process against me. Like this Chinese, obviously the Chinese kids can do no wrong. I see them talking to each other, the teacher and Chinese kid, and they look at me and they talk to each other, and look at me. I'm like, okay, so y'all talking about me because why y'all looking at me while speaking a language I don't know? And one day I hit her. Well, I hit her with the "Inwe wash your head on."
Yeah.
She's like, "What? Inwe wash your head on?" And she's like, I was like, "It's because I'm black." She's like, "Oh shit." She like literally, she's like, "How you learn how to say that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to learn because I want you to understand that this is how I feel right now. That no, I don't drink. Like, can I go to the bathroom? High school. They don't want me to go to the bathroom. I'm like, what? First of all, I'm gonna go anyway. I was just asking to be nice. They won't let me go to the bathroom because I assume I'm gonna go smoke somewhere or something in the. I made myself like, what makes y'all think I smoke? And I'm like, just I'm 6'1", 6'2", black kid. And at that time, I don't even have tattoos. So I'm like, just stereotypes. Unfortunately, people don't know how to not be the person that treats you a certain way. And again, I forgive all those teachers and all those, fuck ass people that made me feel that type of way. But at the same time, please stop because you're probably doing it to kids now.
Yeah.
And
to this day.
I'm mentally
To
enough
this
to
day.
take it. I was able to take it without losing my shit. But you guys are making kids feel fucked up because you watch too much TV, you believe in too many stereotypes. There's some kids in your class that aren't what you think they are. And if you keep placing that upon them, they're going to grow up. It's Einstein's quote. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll grow up its whole life thinking it's stupid. Yeah. And there's a lot of teachers out there that are judging fish based on how they can climb a tree. They want a kid to be a certain thing versus letting that kid be who he is or she is. And shit, with all these genders these days, it and they and cis is whatever. But nah, man, I'm sorry you had to go through that in high school, but it's good. It plays for a funny story right now. Yeah. They think about it like that. But the problem is she's probably still doing it to people. Yeah. And that's the thing that.
Well, she did apologize. She did apologize because I was having a really bad day. And of course, of all days, it happened that specific time.
Yeah, it happened to be on a bad day.
And everything. So, because she's an assistant. She's a tutor.
You tell your dad about that, or is he just finding out right now?
Oh yeah, no. I told my dad about it. Okay. Yeah, so she's
surprised he didn't march to the school and be like, "What the fuck you say?"
She's an assistant because I told her I was like, "How are you gonna assume off of like
it's fucked up?"
You know what I mean? Because she didn't really knew me like that, and and then that's where the main teacher. So and so, and then she came up to me. She brought me into the room. Yeah. She was asking, "Is everything cool?" And I told her straight, but I was like, "No, Mrs. So it's not cool because I work hard. I work hard every day. You know what I mean? Like in this middle of our football season and everything. Like we're trying to get ready to play the ops. And the teacher's saying I'm cheating. You know what I mean? So I told her I was like, I just don't appreciate.
You didn't need no extra stress in your life, and that was one of those things. Yeah, especially again, it was something small. But people understand that small thing. Accidentally gets around, Jordan's high in class, you're a football player. Yeah. That could be a whole thing that somehow gets around the school that Jordan was high in Chinese class or cheating in Chinese class, and it just starts changing your narrative. And now you have to do like PR management in high school because one person made a mistake. It could have went way worse than what it was. Something simple like that for a person whose athletic ability is his career could have definitely took a left. And then she also caught you on a bad day. So you guys squashed and you guys are all good?
Yeah, because I was talking to, the main teacher and then she gave me that look like, oh, I'm about to fire her. This month. I'm about to fire her and stuff like that. Like she was giving me that vibe. But I told her, like, I don't want her to be in trouble. If you could please just tell her, like, Jordan does not smoke. He's a hardworking kid and everything. But she was on but she was like, oh, just be patient because, she's a young teacher. You know what I'm saying? But
people make mistakes, man.
Yeah, just to simplify it, we're cool and everything.
People make
like
mistakes. And she made one, but that sucks that you dealt with that. I dealt with that shit too, man.
Yeah.
That's tough. Another thing. So walk me through, if you can, put yourself in the mind space. First, we're going to go dream and then we're going to go goals. So what's your dream scenario right now from now to the draft? Walk me through, tidbits of first year at Texas A&M, second, third year, if it's going to be a fourth, whatever you got going on, all the way into the draft. And if you had a team to pick you up, obviously you seem like a humble kid. You'll go wherever they want you and whatever is right. But walk us through what the next 3-4 years look like you all the way until draft day.
My
As many
plan,
details as possible.
yeah.
Let's see how many you get right. We're gonna replay this shit 3.5 years from now. Let's see how many you get right.
My plan, and I'm pretty sure this is like probably the last thing that anybody wants to hear, but I'm trying to start on all special teams for my first year. I want to be a kickoff All American across the board, just a straight predator on the field and everything like that. So that's like my first goal.
That's injury risk. You know that, right?
I am the injury.
My man.
Yeah.
My man. Do what you got to do.
You probably, I think the true term for that, what you're looking for, do unto the ops before the ops do
do
unto
to
you.
you?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
You know what I mean? You can never, cause this what Coach Harbaugh put me on. He said you can never truly get hurt in football if you're the one doing it to them.
Yeah.
Because people try to risk it by, but
Yeah, I hear you.
yeah, but going back
Hey,
to
that's a mindset, a hell of a mindset to have.
yeah, it's
So-
been working, man. But going back
So,
to the
all
going back-
special teams.
yeah, all special teams. Just want to really just take advantage of every third down I'm in because because I feel like that does play a big stock in your factor. I want to be an all down guy. Just getting in the rotation wherever they got me in the rotation. For a 60 through 80 play game. That's really where I just want to really take advantage of. Because I know I could be that guy on special teams like right now, you know what I mean? But it's just a lot of factors of before you're that true guy as of right now, like, because everyone's trying to chase a starting spot. But
How's your gas tank? How's your fourth quarter? How's your last 2 minutes?
It's like what Israel Adesanya said, I'm prepared to die.
My man.
So I think it's that simple. But yeah, just master, just doing good in rotation to see where I go from there. Because it's like something I can't even ask myself. I got to wait till the opportunity presents itself. But later down the road, when I have the job, when I fully know and stuff like that, throughout from second year all the way to third year, if I decide to go full 3 and out, it's really just be a master of packages and everything. First down to second down, I'm in the box, and on third down they got me in off the edge rushing at the end and everything because we have a lot of third down packages, and I feel like I bring a lot of pass rush ability from my experiences that I had back in high school and a lot of training of the techniques I know. So, and I think I showed a lot on film and stuff. So I really just win all SEC mention, SEC All American. Just take over anything that has SEC attached to it. I want my name attached to that, and then everything else you're leading up to draft will follow from there. But I think it just starts from the first year, starting on all special teams. I think that's where it all starts because they got to trust you on there before they put you in the smoke from first down and stuff.
You
like
ran a
that.
4.5 when you visited Bama. So let's fast forward 3 years, right? You're in your third year. You're in the mention for SEC, whatever, right? XEC, Jordan Lockhart, whatever the hell the award is. That's you. You're in that position. You guys take a championship. Can't tell you which one, but you're going to take one. If you're on the team, you guys are taking one. Now you're in your pro day. What's your new 40 time? What do you think you're at?
Honestly, just depending where I'm at, speed wise, because I don't want to lie. 4.4, 4.5,
4.5.
One of those two.
That's a pretty
I'm
good
always
speed
gonna,
for
I'm
a
always gonna set
linebacker.
the signer just because I fix my eating and everything. In high school is a little different just because we'll eat Chick-fil-A before games and stuff. But the way I'm going at the rate I'm going right now, like
What are you benching in the pro day? What are you squatting? How many reps do you think you're hitting? Remember, we're gonna play this back. We're gonna see if you undersold or if you over delivered. So we're gonna play this back 3 years, and you're gonna remember this 3 years from now. We're gonna do this interview again, but this is your first one going over 3-4 years from now. If you think you can do it, so where do you think you're at?
well, I can hit 225 15 times right now
Okay.
on the bench. But for the NFL Combine, 30 reps, 30, 31. And
Okay.
so, yeah,
What are you squatting right now?
415.
415.
Yeah, wait, no. 460.
400 plus 400
Yeah,
plus.
something in the 400s. Can't say it
400
off the top of
plus.
my head.
You think you're right around there, or you think you get an extra 50, 60 on there for the combine?
I could do the extra 60, but I don't think they're not doing squatting in the
They're not.
combine.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Yeah, they
then
just
pro
do bench.
days, you're just gonna be
Yeah.
one of those social media just fucking squatting plates for no reason.
Yeah. That's just all clickbait. And so,
Yeah,
but
fuck
they
it.
don't
Hey,
do a
clickbait works.
yeah. they don't
Clickbait.
do
What was
squat in
what was the
combine.
dude from Bama, Richardson? When they play all his workouts.
Mm-hmm.
It was a running back from Bama. Like was it like 8 years ago, 10 years ago? I forgot. Trent Richardson, that's all they showed all his workouts. I think they had to stop him for working out so much. The weight coaches, because he would like be in there doing too much. But point is, I think it helped his draft stock because he was considered the strongest player and probably going into NFL in his position. And then they say Eckler is the strongest pound for pound in his position right now when it comes to just weightlifting. So now you're fast forward, you're getting your phone calls. It's draft day. You're projected first round, second round. What team you want to go to if you had a choice? Obviously, I don't want the PC answer of I'll take anybody that grabs me. It'll all be great. I'm just excited to do it. Fuck that.
I'm in it for the ride.
Yeah, fuck that. Right now, you're 19 years old. We're talking about the shit you want to go to. Keenan Allen said he wanted to go this place. It's okay to say where the fuck you want to go because we all know you're going to go out and ball out for wherever brings you up. But where you want to go if it was your choice? Harbaugh will remember you then, but he'll still be a Charger. Harbaugh's not going to forget you.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Coach Harbaugh. San Francisco 49ers.
Fuck
Draft
49ers.
Me. I'm a big
bang
Niners
bang
fan.
Niner game.
Yeah, I'm a big. I know we come up short throughout the years, but there's a reason why. There's a reason why
31
it's
teams
called,
come up short. If I'd rather be the 49ers to come up short in the big game.
There's a reason why it's called faithful. You know what I mean? You got
49ers faithful.
Yeah. Because who's gonna say anything once we win? And so
bang bang Niner game.
Yeah, and I'm a big Niners fan.
I think you fit the culture. They're fucking killers on defense. So I think that's a good culture.
Fred Warner.
So the problem is, you might be you might be too good. You might be too much of a high pick, and the 49ers are a winning team right now, man. They might have a late draft pick. How's that gonna work out? If they win it and you're too good, y'all don't know if y'all match up the same. What if you're a top 10 pick and they got the 31st pick? That's it. They got to trade up to get you. So 49ers, don't just draft them. Trade up. If you got to trade up, get it done. Make the fucking moves. Make the trades. He's telling you 3 years early, what Tom Brady said to Robert Kraft, I'm going to be the best decision you ever made. He's telling you what it is. So when somebody wants to go there, and they have the skills to boot, they'll never let you down. So we're going to go dream 49ers. Now, my thing is, what is your plan to get there? Right? A goal without a plan is a wish.
Yeah.
Right? And we all, wishing ain't really working out in this world. So if you had to break it down, the goal, all special teams, I know you want to do that. How long do you plan to do that? Just your freshman year, or is it all 3 years? Is it you're going to let your coach help decide that? Is your dad going to decide that? Are you going to put that much strain on your body? What's your goals to get there? And what do you see being the biggest obstacle to stop you from being the first 3-round draft pick?
Well, of course, I mentioned special teams because that's how I'm supposed to get on the field in the first place.
Yeah.
But really, just to simplify,
You'll be on the field.
Be the best linebacker in all of college football that nobody's ever seen. And not trying to, say that just to say that. It's just I truly believe, that's where I'm working towards. I know the steps where I got to take. But of course, I can't just say it and stuff like that. You really got put work behind it because before it's really a dream and stuff. But my brother always told me, there's really no competition. There's only preparation. So the word preparation, I live by that throughout every day. I wake up every day at 5:30, get to facility at 6. Eat my breakfast, go straight into film for about 3 hours. And then, of course, I got study hall from 9 to 12. And then, so we got 3 hours of film already. And then after that, from 11 through all the way to 2:40 when we have our meeting.
Yeah.
That's another 3 hours I put together. So that's 6 hours of film before you got to another 2 hours with your coaches. So
you're getting it done.
So
what do you think is going to be your biggest obstacle? Getting to being let's say a first 3 round?
I would say turnovers. If I don't create turnovers, then you're just like another linebacker. That's how
Everybody can tackle, right?
Yeah.
So it's
because that's it's the SEC. It's college football. And everyone's there because they were that guy at their high school and stuff. But one thing I've been taking a lot of pride in, and what's really could affect your high stock either in a good way or bad way, is your ability to turn over the ball. So
you're for a linebacker, you're definitely a ball hawk.
Yeah,
I've watched you. You find the fucking ball, man.
Mm-hmm.
You find those people, especially anybody coming down the fucking middle. That's a problem for them.
Yeah. So turnovers for sure. I feel like that's my bad. Let me re-say answering your question on goals.
Let's go.
my goal is to be the highest rated defensive player creating turnovers like individually, because that you're kind of the goal is to be undeniable. Like he was like, oh yeah, like this guy, we have to put him in that conversation and this and that and draft and combine.
Yeah.
Like say I run this, say I run that, or my bench wasn't like, where they wanted it to be.
Astronomical,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it wasn't nothing crazy. Like say his his performance at the combine wasn't to the T, because there's just so many athletic
You
guys.
did everything you needed to do,
Yeah.
but what's that one thing that's going to be like, nah, like he's obviously a special linebacker, but there's 6 more of them that can do the same combine he did. That one thing that you want to be that thing that they like, well, but this kid, this Jordan Lockhart kid, that's how they're going to say it. He is, and it's going to be, he is a fucking turnover machine.
Yeah.
If you get near
they'll go
him,
with that.
he's a game changer. He's going to make that play in the fourth quarter. He's going to make that play in the first quarter. He's the type of kid that can wreck a game on the first play of the game and get the ball back to his team. That's the type of narrative you want them to talk about, right?
Yeah, that's my goal. Just throughout college, away from everything else, like my, this and that, like just straight up just turnover king. Because you can't beat that. You're basically saying like I'm gonna put the ball back in our hands. So
Cool.
that's what goes throughout my head. Like
So me and your dad gonna send this shit to you. Every game you don't have a turnover, we're gonna send you this clip and be like, so you're just gonna talk that talk, you're not gonna walk the walk. Every
of
fucking
course.
game you don't send a turnover. You just fucking send. My whole text thread to you is gonna be just the same clip. If you don't fucking do a turnover, and it's gonna be like I'm gonna make a meme out of it, where like a stop sign. If you get turnover, I'll send it to you with a check mark attached to it, because we're gonna hold you to this. Because as long as somebody's holding you to it and reminds you, I think we're gonna replay this 3 years from now when they're talking about he's a turnover guy, and they're gonna be like, check this clip out. He knew he was gonna be a turnover guy 3 years ago, fresh out of high school. He's been saying it. He was always gonna be a turnover guy. Talk about motivation. I want them to have that narrative when we replay this shit. The young version of you looking in the camera and telling him, like, we all might be this, we all might be that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be the fucking guy that is going to wreck a game for you. I'm the game wrecker. I'm the one that's gonna change the narrative of a game where we needed momentum on a road game, and I'm gonna snatch the ball. We're at home getting beat. The team went, they fucking team scored right before half and they get the ball back. That's what they're gonna need. They're gonna need the Jordan Lockharts of the world to come out after half when that team's getting the ball back and not only prevent them from scoring twice on you, take the ball back and give your team opportunity to change the tide of the game. That's what you're saying you want to be. And I think, man, if you say it, I believe it. If you're gonna do it, I'm all in for it. So I'm here for the show.
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying that I feel so confident is like I'll give up a thumb, I'll give up my middle finger. Like during camp, I think it was about like the 8th practice, like going into that practice, and every practice is not a practice where I practice punching the ball out. I always practice punching out the ball out because I feel like I didn't really do it enough in high school. So going into college, everyone's good. So I was like, okay, if I'm the same size as this guy, we're all this and that. Like we all have like that type of swag. Like everyone's the same. Like how am I going to separate myself? And
Never stop,
throughout
keep
camp,
doing
that's
it.
one thing I've just been doing, just punching out the ball. So I
Keep
feel
doing
like I believe in all my heart. Like I embody the true meaning of like blood, sweat, and tears.
You're gonna have coaches during that week in the NFL game and college when they have to actually have a good 30 minutes of their guys practicing specifically not to get the ball punched out by that kid Jordan Lockhart. There's certain players like Jadeveon Clowney or Watt where they have to like have a certain practice on stopping that guy specifically, because what he does is such at elite level that we can't have an average practice. You're gonna get to that point where they're gonna have their receivers and their running backs going through punch out drills just because they're playing you that week.
Yeah.
So that's the fucking goal, and I'm here for it. And I believe you're gonna do it because you believe you're gonna do it. So let's get that shit done. Let's take the ball away from these motherfuckers. Let's just wreck a game and change the whole narrative of college football. You're already gonna be the face of all Polynesians college football, and you'll be one of the turnover champions. Let's get you in for defensive player of the fucking year. So next question. Who is your all-time top, let's say, I'll give you 2 because it's hard to pick one, NFL player of all time for you?
Of all time?
All time.
So
Any position, just. So, you said Seau?
Troy Polamalu.
Troy Polamalu?
I looked up to him since really before I ever
Shit,
started
we
playing
all
football.
looked up to Troy Polamalu,
Yeah, of
man.
course. That's all
I
I'm
wish I could grow my hair out back then, man. That
Yeah.
motherfucker, man, he was something different. I still think he's underrated. I still think people really forgot what he was doing at that time. Now, my favorite player of all time is Rodney Harrison. All time. Rodney fucking, I don't know if you understand who Rodney Harrison is, but Rodney Harrison is easy, man. He's a fucking dog. He was my guy from Chargers to the Patriots. And because of Rodney Harrison's and Adam Archuleta's and the Ed Reeds, I think Polamalu just didn't get, we all loved him. And we all knew who he was, but I still think it wasn't to the, I think we now look back at it and be like, man, he was even better than we thought he was. And the Steelers had some dogs on the team, so I guess you have so many stars on the Steelers at that time. It's hard to give the defensive guy some love when your offense is killing it. But I can give you, I agree with you on Polamalu, man. Special fucking guy. Special guy.
Yeah.
So, and then question for you. Who is your favorite athlete of all time that's non-football? If you can name like two.
John Jones.
Johnny Bone Jones.
John Jones.
Johnny, why? Why Johnny Bone Jones?
I just feel like you ever watched The Last Airbender?
Of course.
I think he's the avatar of fighting. Cause name another guy who's that big, who's that long, but he can master all elements of like getting out of clinches and this and that. Just so and he kind of motivated me too, like from a football standpoint to just really show like be a true master of your craft. Because there's nothing like he been in there with some killers and almost lost most of the time. But what saved him was his IQ, his adjustments.
His fight IQ is second to none.
So I try to like think like that from that like a real champion's mindset and stuff. Like really like going back to turnovers, don't say it and you're not going to work it. You know what I mean? Like I had a little minor sprint. It's healing now, but I had a little minor sprint because I kept punching the ball every rep. Like if it's 7-on-7, like, no one's going to punch the ball. I'm going to punch the ball. Yeah. Like if it's like walkthroughs, get a little
practice.
Walkthrough,
They say it, practice how you play. Always.
Yeah, exactly. So I
always
did
practice how you play.
I do it so much where I feel like I have the rights. I have evidence. Like I have a backup sheet. Like you know what I mean? Because you can't say something you don't have no evidence to back it up.
Yeah, you gotta have receipts.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So keep the receipts. But
John Jones.
He's just he played. Come on, like he fights with
He's
so much
fucking
swag.
John Jones. Like you don't gotta explain it, man. John, if you ever watch this shit. We don't gotta explain it, man. You're John fucking Jones. Yeah. Everybody that talks all the other shit, man. You got fans out there that we know what it is. Your at home life, that's between you and your family and everything else. We respect you as an athlete. You are that guy. Yeah. So, and honestly, I don't know if you know who Mighty Mouse is, but look up Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson, DJ. Everybody in the world is lucky that dude wasn't 6'2". Because Mighty Mouse is, to me, the closest comparison to John Jones I've ever seen when it comes to all-around fighter. Fight IQ, just knows everything. Mighty Mouse is that. He just fought at 135 or 125. Yeah. But my favorite, to me, the best fighter. He's not my favorite fighter, but he is, but he's not. John Jones is the best fighter to ever touch anything to do with combat. Yeah. He is the baddest man on the planet. No human wants to see that man in any version of fighting, outside or inside of a ring. Total, no rules, John Jones is a duty. And it's because he's the smartest. I think he's one of the smartest. You can take all he's athlete. He's an athlete for sure.
He lives by technique.
But he's one of the smartest guys ever. And he's such an alpha, he's such a badass that he'll fight you with your fight style just to make sure you understood what the difference was between him. Yeah. When he fought Chael Sonnen, he fought Chael with Chael style fighting. Yeah. Just to make sure Chael understood. That's how much better I am than you. I'm not going to fight my style. I can beat you my style. You like dirty boxing. I'm a better wrestler. Nope. I'm gonna fight you dirty boxing and still beat you up.
He wrestled growing up.
Yeah. John Jones is the man. So I agree with you on that. We can go all day. I went to the ESPYs mainly because I knew John Jones was going to be there. All the UFC events I've ever been to, never ran into John Jones. Yeah. And I knew he was going to be at the ESPYs. So I was like, I want to go to the ESPYs because I want to meet John Jones. Yeah. Fuck everything else. That was the main reason. It was cool to be at the ESPYs. But I knew John Jones was going to be there. Yeah. Ended up sitting right in front of him. Basic conversation, talked about a little about God, and then run into him at the ESPYs after party. And then there was an after party, ran into him again. And it was like, it was a great moment for me because I've been following that dude's career for fucking forever. He's one of my favorite fighters in the history of fighting.
And he kind of helped me in my, when I first started college on my, when we first went to our first day of training camp, I was just, listening to the nearest John Jones podcast
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Or my bad, post conference.
Yeah.
In the conference, he said, what David Goggins wrote to him. He was just like, that really like set the tone my whole off season and everything. And I even wrote it down in my notebook, on the, my playbook's right here. And I wrote it down, the quote that John Jones received from David Goggins. The quote was, be the guy who embraces, the ugly, the miserable, like be the guy who embraces like hard work, the grind, like don't be afraid, like expect to not feel your best. Cause you're never going to feel your best when you're like working 24/7 back-to-back days and stuff like that. But like just embracing like the dark side of the word grind. Like, you know what I mean?
Tom Brady has a quote like that. He tells people fall in love with boredom.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you got to fall in love with boredom. And that's the way it works. A lot of people don't like watching film. A lot of people don't like doing the boring shit.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's always boring. It's
to
always
give up
boring.
to be think another Brady quote, and I'm paraphrasing, because what the fuck do I know? But to be great, you got to give up good. You got to give up good to be great. And that's one of the biggest problems we have as a society in this world is sometimes like middle class people, $70,000 to $90,000 people. A lot of times they don't push that next level because you work so fucking hard to get good in the first place, just to get good. So the thought of giving it up for any reason doesn't sound smart.
Right.
So when they say give up good to be great, you have to. You cannot try to live in both avenues. There's a line where good plateaus, and to be at the next level, there's certain things you have to do. And Brady always said that that's one reason he thought he can play longer and he could play that age because he said there's no more masters of the games. Like the Ed Reeds are gone. There's no like masters of anything. Once Drew Brees left, everybody's overly talented, crazy athletic. But who was in football when Brady's last year? Like that was just a master or something, and there wasn't a lot left. And he understood as long as he falls in love with the boredom, the shit people don't want to do, he can always play. And he wasn't wrong. He was able to continuously play at his age because, again, there's a lot of talented guys in the league, but hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Mm-hmm. And he was always going to outwork a lot of fucking people. And that's how Brady became the fucking GOAT, because he wasn't the most talented in the beginning, but he was willing to work to be that and outwork anybody else in his fucking way. And, the rest is fucking history. And John Jones was the exact same. You got NFL brothers, right? Yeah, your dad is raising some hell of a boys, but you guys got, if you look up to the Jones family, Jesus fucking Christ, sorry for saying that, but imagine it being a father where your son can beat up everybody on the planet. And in the same year, your other son wins the Super Bowl. And the following year, your other son wins the Super Bowl. Imagine being that father.
Oh my gosh.
And then they're all 6'4", 240 pounds up.
Athletic freaks.
What the fuck?
Like straight.
Imagine being that dad where you walk into any bar, you walk into anywhere you go, you're the dad of the fucking century.
Yeah. And their dad, that was the last thing they expected from their father, because John Jones, he said, their father was a pastor. Like they were never, none of them were introduced to sports. It was kind of one of those like, hey dad, can I get into wrestling? Hey dad, can I get into football and stuff like that? Same thing with my father. My after my dad's, athletic career was done, like as time went by, not calling him old or anything like that, but just maybe just a little bit, but like he
a little bit past it.
Yeah, we were not introduced to football or any type of sport. We grew up like in the church listening to our father preach, but of course like throughout time, you go on YouTube, you see like this and that NFL games and stuff. So when my dad, it was
start learning about sports a little bit and trying to dive into it.
Yeah, so shout out to the Lord for giving us vision. So when we told our dad about what we want to do going into football, which it really started from my oldest brother Danny, and then that's where my dad, his whole like mind, he was like, okay, I'm gonna show you how to win. You know what I mean?
Y'all want to do it? Let's do it.
Yeah, because he was my father was, for those who don't know, he was an All-American, still holds the record at Carson High School and everything like that, offers everywhere, and he knows what it takes to win. So I think like most of our work ethic that came throughout,
he has the winning pedigree,
like life in general, like football, outside of football, like we have a competition, we're always competing and everything like that. You know what I mean?
So I know your father, right? He has a winning pedigree in general, and then he has God on his side. Mm-hmm. You put those two and two together, and you end up with what you guys got going on right now, a bunch of well-mannered sons who are with the action, ice water in their veins, willing to compete, but at the same time, humility and humbleness because, Lord first. Yeah. and then food. Obviously, like you said, food is second for you. But I mean, that's a good mindset to have. I'm trying to raise my son very similar.
Right.
He's 7, and he likes to walk around and fight and act like he's a superhero. So I told him, I was like, all right, we're gonna get you into fighting because all that shit sounds good. You gotta get punched in the face.
Yeah.
You gotta know you could take that
Uh-huh.
because you want to play, then let's do it. We're not gonna half-ass it. If we want to play, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
If you want to fight, you're gonna fight.
Exactly.
If you want to play basketball, all right. So my son, every single day, go dribble the ball 50 times with your right hand. Go dribble it 50 times with your left hand.
Yeah.
I did it. Cool. Both hands. Let's do it. And I told him I didn't put him in sports last year, and I told him I apologize, but Daddy was too busy. I was like, but what I'm gonna do for sure is over the next year, which I did. I was like, I'm gonna get your body right. So my son's out here running these hills right here, and that shit is steep. I'm making him just, hey, random time we pass a park. I'll stop. Take a lap. We're at a parking lot. You know what? Take a fucking lap around the parking lot.
My father made me run home.
That's why I love your father.
Like I'll never forget the day. I'm always in the backseat. My dad, he's like, just going back to the faith topic, like our faith in Jesus Christ is so strong. But
God
it's
is
like
good.
the way I view things, it's like it comes God and then my father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be, it don't matter how your accolades get, it's going to stay that way to the day you die.
God is God.
Because, you gotta, it's like the service, it's like a service, it's principles you live by.
Yep.
And stuff. So if my dad, it's like growing up, and all my brothers know this, even my sisters, everyone in my family, like when my father speaks, like, shut up and like listen and stuff, because if you don't, he's gonna make you get out the car. You can ask all my siblings, and he's gonna make you. And we lived on the hill like growing up, so I never forget. I'm gonna put Benny on blast, but he made Benny get out the car and ran home, and ran so it was like probably a 20-minute run, but that would be like, I wouldn't say punishment. People probably think it's like, oh my gosh,
Me
what are you doing
and
to
your dad are way
kids?
more alike than I ever realized, because I do the same shit. My son told you, random parking lot.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what? Run. Go
Yeah.
run the parking lot. Just go around. All right, I'm done. I do it again. Just, especially if you want to be an athlete, cool. I'll find random manufactured coaching moments to get you right. And he got you guys right. And at the same time, it wasn't going to be no disrespect either. So why not? My son, instead of whooping his ass with a belt or anything, my son gets in trouble, wall planks. He has to sit on the wall, arms out, and it's a punishment. But at the same time, his core is getting built.
Yeah.
My son wants snacks. We have a snack cabinet in the house. I'll show you guys later. One costs $1, one costs $5. And chores get you a little money, but 30 push-ups is $1, right? 1 minute planks is another $1. So if he wants some like popcorn, some chips, my son has to go. He'll go bust down 30 push-ups, real push-ups. I'm not playing any games, and then he'll go do like the 60-second planks because the chips ain't free.
No disrespect. I think our situation is way worse.
I believe it is.
My
Again,
dad,
I'm trying to be like your dad, so I got to tell me about it so I can
my
step
father,
his level up.
I always my father said, because he was just always like, you're too big. I'm not gonna hit you. Like, you're too old. You're too old for me to be hit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just cut your hair. The fear of God, like,
That's it.
That's what I say. Like, it comes really. Jesus
Again,
Christ.
we're very similar.
Yeah.
Again, you guys had your thing. My son, he has the little cyber quads.
Yeah.
I told him, piss me off if you want to. I will take that quad to your school and give it away to the kid you hate the most, and he knows I will. My nephew plays PlayStation. I won't just take it away. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna make sure you watch me run it over. I'm gonna run it over, and then after running it over, I'm gonna make you post it on your social media what just happened. But my son, when I told him I was gonna give his cyber quad away to the kid he hates the most at school in front of him, he kind of fixes himself up because, again, I don't have to hit you, right? I can whoop your ass if I need to, but there's so many other ways that can get you a mindset that will transcend 7, 8, 10, 11, 12s. Again, you'll still be thinking about it when you're 18, 19, 20 of a certain mindset, because there's certain ways you can condition people to understand I'm not fucking playing around.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like, it's also for you at the same time. As you get older, you start to realize a lot of it changed you in a good way.
Yeah.
At the time, you might have thought he was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But when you realize,
I thought my dad was fucking like, it's motherfucking nuts.
Yeah, it's method to the madness, baby. It's a method to the madness.
Yeah, no, it was like,
Shout out to Danny fucking Lockhart.
Yeah,
We're way
like-
more similar than I thought we were.
yeah, man,
So,
like you
that's
think
fucking hilarious.
people, I know it's a lot of times kids will get their ass beat all the time and still do the same shit
Mhm.
all the time. You know what I mean? Not saying that was our situation, but
Yeah.
I just like, that's the thing. Like a kid could
Oh,
take
I got my ass whooped and
Yeah.
went and did the same thing a few times for sure.
Yeah, so
some ass whoopings were enough to change, but some of them were just ass
Yeah,
whoopings. So
like,
I had to
some
go
kids
and
just
do
love
it.
getting their
I just
ass
learned how to
beat.
do it without getting caught the next time.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this: when my dad took me to the barbershop and shaved my head, buzz cut. I'm talking about worse than military style. Like I looked bald, and I went to school the next day and I got clowned, like laughed at.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and it was the most embarrassing. But that day, I think it's Tuesday. I'll never forget the day. I'll tell my kids this situation just for them. I can say, okay, my dad taught me this. Now I'm gonna do the same thing to you guys if you guys like. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Pops.
Yeah, shout out to fucking Pops.
Yeah.
He got you right. But again, like I said, look where you guys are at. You have a brother who's in college, also playing sports. You guys, his cousins are doing something. You got a brother who's getting into his fight career going. You know how much discipline you got to have to walk into a place half naked and start punching people? Like that's
Yeah.
and to get punched on purpose.
That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
fucking. You have to have the right screw loose
In front of your family.
Yeah, in
your
front of
wife,
friends
your
and family,
kids.
knowing there's chance you lose,
on TV.
especially when you're up and coming, because you might not be favorable matchup. And it's like you purposely woke up in the morning, also starved yourself the 2 days before to make weight,
Yeah, just to get your ass beat.
to go in there half naked in front of a bunch of people that will cheer for you if you win, but also cheer and be happy if you get knocked the fuck out, half naked and go get punched in the face on purpose. And you do that for a living.
Yeah,
You gotta have the right screw loose.
exactly.
And you guys have a litany of different type of mindsets in your family, and it all seems like it stems from the same stock. So shout out to y'all running the fuck home when you doing the wrong thing. Shout out to threats of haircuts and whatever else cynical crazy shit that Danny had you guys going. Because look where you ended up. You guys are doing just fucking fine for now.
Yeah.
For now. But if one of you guys end up fucking serial killer, we're also gonna put that on Danny too.
Yeah, no, he did it at a young age, bro. Like at a young age, like I remember when we were in our fat boy stage, and like we're all chunky kids and stuff like that. And I think that's probably why my dad did it, because he knew like man, you're fat, so I'm gonna just make you run and everything. So like he told my brother Benny, like, bro, get out he was like, get out the car. You know, of course I'm little, sorry, bro, but I was like in the backseat. I was kind of laughing a little bit.
It's funny.
Yeah,
it's funny now. It's funny then.
Exactly. So he was just
Especially when it's not you have to do it that day.
Yeah, so he just told him run and stuff. But it was a whole lot of factors. But it's as corny as it sounds.
Is Benny in shape right now?
Yes, he's in.
And that's
phenomenal
exactly
shape.
you did, and this
Yeah.
is where it starts.
My brother's gonna be world champion one day.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll be right there for the whole fucking ride. Right. I hope I could be part of the circle, and we can get this shit all done together. I'm here to help whenever I can help. But yeah, world champion one day.
Man. You big goose.
The world champion one day. It starts from getting out the fucking car and running home.
Yeah.
You know, that shit like that. It translates way deeper than people think. And again, a lot of times parents get shit for it until you're older. And you're older and you're like, nah, that's kind of was like one of the starts of me changing my mind and listening and respecting and getting in shape. Because if he need to go run up a hill right now, you know, that hill is probably not going to do anything for him. He could have been a little chunky kid that look at the hill and cry just because of the hill exists.
Exactly. Like your parents can only tell you so much. Like so use it for example. Like of course, as you get older, like your father, like you're bigger than your dad now. You're taller. You know, if he wants to slap you, you can easily get in your track stance and start running. And he's not gonna catch you. Yeah, you could do all that. But if you stay while he's like you take the shit, you let him yell at you or ask me and take all that. It's an indicator showing
It's a choice.
That means you love your father.
Yep, that was a choice you made
if
because you
take-
didn't have to.
Exactly. Like if you take I think the worst thing you could do, just say you're getting your ass beat, is go run away and stuff. Because you could do it. Because man, when I was younger, that would be in my head. I was like, well, while you see him get ready and stuff, I was like, I really have the power to just run. And
in 3 years,
and I know
in
I
3
know,
years
and I know
you'll be big enough where he can't
You know what I mean?
can't even hurt you.
Yeah.
but it's a person. It's a choice to respect your people.
So that's why I said. So I was like, if you take this ass beating, it shows you love your father.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't,
And
then-
mothers too.
Yeah,
And mothers
because
too,
if-
because you don't have to.
Yeah.
You're choosing it because that's
It's a
just
choice.
it's your choice and how your family dynamic is
Yeah.
ran. I tell my sister same thing with my nephew. He's 13 years old, he's 6'2", but he loves video games, he doesn't do any sports. And I was like, that's on you. I was like, but I told her, I was like, you might not want to hear me now. I was like, but you don't let me take him underneath my wings, which is the only man he has in his life.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're gonna regret that one day. I was like, because one day you realize it's like when he's 15 and he wants to go to the movies or something, and you say no, what's gonna stop him from just going? You can't whoop his ass no more. He's 6'2". You're 5'6", 6, like he listens to you at 13 because it's natural to listen to. But when he's like 15, 16, he's having sex and he's doing this.
They're
you
smart
can't-
enough to. They're
you
smart
can't,
enough to know.
You can't physically impose him anymore. He's not scared of ass whoopings. He's not going to take an ass whooping. What's to stop him from just doing what the fuck he wants to do? I was like, at that point, he's going to have to respect you. Right now, there's a natural parent thing. He's also a
I
child.
love this topic.
It's going to be a choice he's going to have to make to look at you in your eyes when you say no and say, okay. I was like, what are you going to do? Try to take away his PlayStation? When he's 16 trying to get at girls or 17 trying to get girls, he's going to say, take that shit. I was like, he's not going to care. So what's going to be the thing that keeps him listening to you when he considers himself grown enough to make his own choices? I was like, the only thing that's going to stop it is, I was like, it's going to be his choice. I was like, I told my mom I wasn't taking no more ass whoopings. I was like 16 or 15. I was like, I'm not getting any more ass whoopings. I was like, I'm not gonna disrespect you, but I'm not like taking off my clothes, getting in the bed and letting you whoop me in the bed. I was like, I fight men now. Like I'm at school or at the movies fighting grown men. I'm not taking ass whoopings no more. But let's not make a mistake. I still kept our dynamic. She still said no to something. It was a no.
Yeah.
But at that point, I don't even know if she realized that's a choice I made. Because there's nothing she could do. Right? I'm 6'2". Like I'm a 6'2" kid, six pack and muscles. There's nothing she could do technically to stop me from doing it if I want to do it physically.
It's really a choice.
It was a choice I had to make.
I'm gonna get chewed out and stuff because it just shows you respect.
So I got yelled at. I got cussed out. I did all that. But that's technically a choice. I could have just said, shut the fuck up and turned around. But I would never. Right? And I'm on my sister's ass. I'm like, your son right now, I'm telling you. I was like, and your daughter too. She had my niece. She's 16. And she's already too smart for her own good, but like she's really, really good kid, like super humble, listens to everything, like almost perfect what you want your daughter to be. Mm-hmm. I was like, what comes that is she's so mature is she's gonna look at you one day and she's gonna be like, I don't care what you gotta say. I said, what's gonna stop her from just saying fuck it?
Yeah.
She's not gonna just keep getting her ass whooped. She's like, again, one day she's gonna be strong enough to fight you back. She won't do it. But yeah, it's like that's a personal choice of hers.
I think the biggest thing with respect for our parents is everyone knows first and foremost, like, always respect the elders and stuff like that. But I think our parents did a really great job helping us really understand our Polynesian culture, because what they really did was set the foundation. And a proverb that a lot of Samoan kids live by, the proverb is called, "E sui whainga ayatu male whawai." What that means is, as you get older, what you do may change, the way you go about things may change, but who you are as a person will forever remain the same. Like the foundation must always remain the same. That's what the proverb means. It means like, because throughout accolades of life, you're always going to do something different. Like you're going to disagreements, you're going to have different type of disagreements, and you're going to want to do something else, maybe start your own thing. But it doesn't matter what you do, because at the end of the day, the level of respect is the foundation. So you always your foundation must always remain the same. So every day that's like, man, it just goes based off of like how you treat people. So that's like the biggest like Samoan proverb that us Samoans live by. "E sui whainga tu mau le whawai." Just what you do may change, but the foundation must remain the same: God and respect and family and stuff. So those three things, and when you keep those three things, you will forever have a different type of love and respect of who you are, and for your father, your parents, or whoever your guardian is. Everything like that.
You're doing it all at one time. You're promoting God, you're promoting culture, you're promoting yourself, and you have something that is meaningful to you. If you're gonna have something that you can brand yourself off, imagine something that's also something you grew up with. Because people will brand all kinds of shit, but it just be something they're branding. That's something that you already believe in, something you already use as your actual foundation to keep you grounded. Talk about spreading your word around, and then now you're spreading not just your word and how you came up, because everybody's gonna, people are gonna want to emulate you. We'll get into that later about like when it's your turn to be the OG for the young kids. People are gonna want to emulate you. People are gonna want to be like you. Let's say you end up on the 49ers. 49ers is a fucking brand.
Yeah.
That's a brand. People are gonna want to be
it's
like
bigger than football.
Yeah, it's huge
in the Bay.
It's huge, and people want to be like the other people on their team. Like if Christian McCaffrey had that, the foundation stays the same, it'd be the number one fucking selling shirt in California right now, because it's Christian McCaffrey. If he had a slogan that he's been saying for years that matched him, you would have the shirt.
Yeah.
You'd have it.
Mm-hmm.
You would already have the shirt, 49ers colors on it, foundation stays the same.
Yeah.
and that's for you, and it's meaningful. It's God. You get to spread God, whether they like it or not. People are gonna rock it. And then they're still rocking scripture. They're rocking a proverb, and then the Samoan culture is gonna dive into it because they all, you guys live by it, right? And then the fact that it's you don't just push it in English, you're pushing it from your culture first.
Yeah, like my plan after every game is say more and more level on the sea level. You know about the Fafatale tour. That means first and foremost, I want to give thanks to God. Or you can shoot shorter one, just say like Via Le Tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Via just means praise. Yeah. Via Le Tour. A tour is God. So Via Le Tour. That's what I'm gonna do. Like after every single post interview, press conference, just continue to give thanks to God. So it's just like first and foremost, I want to say Via Le Tour, praise the Lord, and then go into there, just like continue to put not only our Samoan culture on the map, but also put God on the map at all times.
That's it. That needs to be your top of your Twitter. The foundation doesn't change right now.
Man, you are the true definition of what that says. What the fuck do I know? Like that's like you really like.
But the thing, it really is. What the fuck do I know? I'm just throwing shit out there, right? Y'all do what you got to do.
You're like a walking knowledge. Man.
Most time I tell people something, I tell them, what the fuck do I know? Not like I'm just doing okay in life. What the fuck do I know? Right? I'm figuring it out, and I figured it out without a father. I figured it out, pretty much. I have an article like LA Weekly, and it's like the people I looked up to in life: LeBron James, Dan Pena. I even put Goku and Vegeta in the article.
Yeah,
they're in there because it's real life shit. I had to find outside sources to kind of figure out how to become well rounded, and that's why I fuck with your dad. It's like it threw me off so much when I first met him because it was kind of like it's weird to meet somebody that would feel like kindred spirits. Like man, like this motherfucker, like. It makes too much sense. It's hard to meet somebody when you meet him. It's like this kind of makes too much sense. We're like we talk alike. We sound alike. We're different, but at the same time, how many people do you meet years apart that it makes sense that we're supposed to know each other the moment we meet.
Right.
And it's almost weird we didn't know each other before.
Right.
And we kind of tell we're probably gonna know each other for a long time. When you meet somebody and within the first 2 times you talk to them, that's the feeling you get. It kind of threw me off. So I was like, me make sure I'm not projecting some shit on this man, but I was like, and it just kept making sense. And then that was like as a promoter and the guy who you fight business. And then I start watching him and his, how he raises his sons. I'm like, what's that, the Snoop Dogg thing? This motherfucker don't miss. I was like, he don't miss. Yeah. Like, don't tell me he's a father of the year too. Jesus. Right? I'm like, so he's already cool dude. He's already honest. He's already this. He's a fight promoter, but he's also a fight promoter who had hands. So he's not like some guy who's just trying to make money of it. He was in the business.
Yeah.
And then he's a great father. I'm like, so fuck, is there anything else this motherfucker can't do? Yeah. I was going to say, he's just fucking solid. And I was like, to me, I'm very well-rounded. I don't meet a lot of well-rounded people. And I was like, he's God-fearing, but he's respectful about it, right? And I remember I mentioned, that it'd be groundbreaking. It'd just be hard to operate. He wouldn't do the fight league. We might want to try to do, especially in San Diego, so liberal, a trans league. And I was like, it's tough. And he doesn't sit well with his religion. But the way he goes about, a lot of people could have just be like, nah. But the way he still explained it, he's like, well, my God, I don't believe in certain things, but I can definitely see how we can get that going. I might have to defer that to certain, that even the way he was able to reject something but also accept it was graceful. I'm like, this motherfucker, like, again, he don't miss. And then meeting you and your brother and watching, watching all his fight videos and shit, thinking to myself, so he's gonna have like 4 sons that can whoop my ass, huh? I was like, I gotta get in the gym because I was like, that's the little Samoan, and the motherfucker take me. I'm like, Jesus, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I was like, this guy is raising monsters. My son, I'm trying to make sure my son grows up like you guys. I'm like, well, these guys can do everything. And I was like, but there's one common denominator right now, and it's Danny fucking Lockhart. So, shout out to you.
The dynasty lives.
Yeah, shout out to your fucking dad for
that's his nickname.
For doing right by you guys. The fucking dynasty lives, and it's definitely living, and you guys haven't disappointed at all. Yeah. And you guys are just starting. That's the crazy part. You guys are what I want my sons to be like, and you guys haven't even got into adulthood yet. I pray that my son is anywhere like you. I might just have to send my son to your house for summer vacations. I'm like, and it sounds funny, but I'm like dead serious as
Oh,
fuck.
no, that's our guy. We'll introduce. What's your son's name?
Michael.
We'll introduce Michael to the mana. You know what the mana means?
Yeah, get him right. Get him
Yeah.
right. He'll love this shit anyway.
Yeah.
So that's right up his alley. He loves doing shit like that. But yeah, I gotta definitely tap in with Danny outside of business shit because my son needs to be Uncle Jordan and Uncle Benny. He needs to be able to fuck with you guys when especially he's about to get into fighting. Hey, go to your Uncle Benny house. He go here, go there. Hey Ben, he wants to go over for the weekend. Like get away from me. Go get him punched up in the gym somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we got Uncle Jordan. He's fucking somewhere in San Francisco. Like, here's a plane ticket. It's 15-year-old. Go fuck with him for the first summer vacation. Or I'm gonna threaten him. All right, I'm gonna send you to Danny's house. You know he's gonna have you. I'm gonna send you Uncle Danny's house. He's gonna have you running miles, motherfucker.
He's gonna cut you.
I'm gonna threaten him. Hey, you better ask Uncle Jordan about Uncle Danny. He's gonna get your ass right. Because I don't know how to raise my son in a certain. Well, I can't say, well, this is what my dad did for me. I have no fucking idea. So for me, every day is new. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But at the same time, right, I don't have it. There's no, ego is not your amigo, right? I don't have a fucking ego. If somebody I think is better than me, I'm all with it, right? Just take me and put me to the side and show me the right way. Lead me down the right path. And you guys right now, you guys are like very well-rounded family. Again, there's little things that I don't see and I don't know. But that's not for me to know and not to see. From what I do see, the resume you guys do show, right? If this is your resume, you're hired, right? You're hired in just as a life person, as a circle, right? I don't have a big circle. I have like 2 or 3 people in the world that I really fuck with. And I keep it that way because it's so hard to find genuine people. I don't care if they're cool or they can be an asshole. They can be mean. It makes no difference to me. As long as you're genuine, as long as that's who you are, I can navigate around if you're a little bit of a prick. I could be your best friend if you're a prick. But as long as we both understand you are, don't play the game. Don't play me. And you guys right now seem as advertised, or you guys are the best con artist family I've ever seen in my fucking life. So it's one of the two, right? I'm gonna choose to believe the good part. But if you can con this good, then fuck it. We gotta join that too at a point because I'm a good judge of character normally. And if you can con me, then your long con is amazing. So it's a long con or you guys are solid. So I definitely fuck with you guys. It's not long con, Dan. This is it. This is you as advertised. Cause look, I'm as advertised. This is you met me. Every time you meet me, I'm the same fucking way. So this is who I am. He knows I'm fucking crazy. He met me like 4 weeks ago. I'm holding back crazy shit. Right? That's only because you guys are such a church family that I'm like, I'm gonna not say certain things. He's like, even though I'm probably gonna say it anyway. It's one of those. I respect y'all so much that I'm not gonna make you feel uncomfortable. When I told myself at the same time, Danny knows whose house he came to. I'm gonna say what the fuck I'm gonna say regardless, and y'all gonna have to it is what it is. Take it. But definitely that's a take. We're definitely gonna clip that together. Use it as you must. But I think on accident we just found your niche, your thing. You'll have your things on the field, but when it comes to branding, which is important these days, not a lot of high school people. Again, Tim Tebow had God. That was like his big brand was like God, and you'll have that. But to be realistic, you're not white. Any non-white people talking about God is weird to people. They hear it and it's like cool, but that's it. Tim Tebow talks about God. It's he's the best thing to ever hit Earth. Because look at the white quarterback. He's like Tim Tebow came out as like the American hero. He's a 6'3", 6'4" white kid who's a winning quarterback and he's God fearing. He might as well be that. That's a Texas culture right there. God in football. That's Tim Tebow. And a good looking kid. Like what the else do you want? Like that's perfect for football. I know a lot of black people, God first. I know a lot of other coaches, God first. It doesn't get received the same as when white people talk about God. And doesn't mean you stop talking about God, but that's probably not going to be your brand. That's going to be your brand amongst God-fearing people. But national brand has to be something that's more universal. And I don't think there's anything more universal than the foundation of change. Everybody's going to apply it to their walk of life.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be a cyclist who's doing bike riding.
Yeah.
Same concept for him. Foundation didn't change. Why he kept winning.
Yeah, it's I like how it's just what I love about the proverb is it's an indicator to it applies to everybody because wherever your foundation is, what they're really talking about your roots. If you grew up tough, that's your foundation. You use it as your work ethic. That's your foundation.
Yep.
If you grew up in a household like full of saying really you just work
Yeah.
and everything because everyone they has to grow up and the only way you could do that is by remembering where you started and stuff.
You guys watch Dragon Ball Z at all? No.
Yeah.
There's a character called Brawly. He is the epitome of a 50 Cent's quote, where 50 said, "I don't want no problems, but if you want a problem, okay." It's like, I don't want no problems with nobody, but if you want to force the issue, imagine when you get a really, really nice person mad. What you had to do to get somebody out of the character, like the person that accused you, like you're too good, you work too hard for somebody to accuse you of being high or cheating. It was like, come on, out of all people,
Because she looked serious about it. She was like, "Are you high?"
that's what pissed you.
Because I was like, first and foremost, I think like something like that would never happen to me.
Yeah.
Because
you work hard for it not to happen.
For those who know Jordan Lockhart, everyone knows like, bro, he's a square. Like we know Jordan too well. Like we knew this dude since
We can't even get him to if we tried.
We can't get to. They tried it. Like even and I went out for when I went to the club for the first time. Like just first time just to
Have
get out the
fun.
house
Try
because
to-
I was at you're at A&M and everything. It's nothing but just like
bowling and clubs.
Yeah, exactly. So I went, my first night at the club, but it was just straight white girls, just like, come have a drink with us and stuff like that.
Good.
They're like, everyone's doing it, Jordan. Like, bro.
See, that's how they start.
So I always try to be nice. I always just, and I actually, that's the perfect time where I use this. I repeat it always in my head. Like, before I walked in the club, I said, and so we find out, like drilling in my head, like do not change. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my foundation is why I'm here in the first place. Don't start tripping over these females.
Yeah, we're in the club, girls throwing doing their thing.
Of course they are.
Yeah, and then this one girl was like, damn, she was. Oh my gosh! Well, the point is, I did not get soaked up in that, but like
the
there's,
foundation
drinks,
didn't change.
Yeah, drinks everywhere. Everyone's trying to get you vape, smoke, and stuff like that. But it's just like, and I have nothing against it. So like I always tell people all the time, 'cause people are like, "Hey, do you smoke and stuff?" Like what I mean, teammates and this and that. But the big
you hit them with the to each his own, man. I ain't no judgment. It's not my thing.
Yeah, and last thing I want to do, I want to be like, I don't want guys to go around thinking like, oh, he thinks he's perfect and stuff. So I always making sure that I don't smoke, bro. And stuff. They're like, oh, bro, come on. It's like, oh, bro, I got nothing against it.
Yeah,
shit, bro. My whole family smokes. Like,
my whole it's my favorite flower. I just don't partake.
Bro, it's like Mayweather. Like everyone should know this. It's like Mayweather, 50 and 0, greatest to ever do it, does not smoke or drink.
It's sad.
And he owns a strip club.
That's it.
So what does that mean? He has all these girls, all these drinks, all these high expensive this and that.
He stays at strip clubs. He stays with women, but it's just not his thing.
It's for everybody.
He takes care of his guests because he doesn't judge you for
people.
doing it. It's just not his thing.
Exactly.
And I'm the same fucking way. It's just not my thing.
He runs home from the club. Like, so he'll go to the club and everything. Now John Jones, on the other hand,
John Jones
different.
used to partake.
Yeah.
But when I met John Jones, right? He was in the new shit. And I'm gonna be for honest, people think he's going crazy. 2 different after parties after the S piece. John Jones didn't have one thing to drink whatsoever. And then the second after party, which is rooftop drinks going around bars, where John Jones was a bar. He didn't have nothing to drink. He wasn't smoking. He was doing his thing. He was just sitting there having fun, trying to do his thing, meeting other athletes, talking to ladies, and he wasn't even being aggressive to ladies or anything. So that's my actual firsthand take of the fucking GOAT, John Jones. He doesn't have to because he's still him. But if he does, it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine that you don't. It's fine that I don't. And if the next 5 people in here do, what's that got to do with me? So, but I'm going to ask you one last question before we wrap it up. So, and I'm going to try to always try to end the podcast with some type of philosophical question for you would be, if there's 2 things about the world you can change, anything in the world you can change, what would be those 2 things?
Gas prices. I think gas prices are the biggest indicator why people move out of state. I see it all the time, day in and day out. People literally gotta take their families and move somewhere else just because of gas prices by itself. Because like everyone knows that
Gas prices are a
that
bitch,
LA
yes.
traffic is no joke. Like literally half of 75% of most people's job is coming through there on the 91, like going there and back, and that's like gas prices going there and gas coming right back. So that's like
So
one
gas
thing
prices number one. What's the next thing?
You say anything in the world you change?
Anything in the world you could change, what would that be?
Honestly, I think it's really just gas price. But if there's one thing, sorry if it's not anything. But if there's one thing I wish,
My man just got a car. Now he's like, fuck gas prices.
Like, I can't.
And he has a muscle car. So he's like, nah, I got to put 91 in that bitch.
Yeah.
He's like, damn.
Listen, I can't.
You got a Charger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a Dodge. Look, Dodge.
2023
That's
AC
love.
Charger.
My man got a new Dodge Charger. And the one thing about the world he wants to change, not poverty, not the rest of that shit. Because he's driving now, gas fucking prices. That's it.
But one thing I do wish upon people, that people will be more grateful and more happier.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like, because I feel like people go throughout their day so negative, so down, and so. But like, if you really think about it, whether you got this, whatever car you drive, like who said you're gonna be here tomorrow? You know what I
one
mean?
thing that
So,
make people a lot happier in this world?
Yeah.
If they change gas prices.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, gas prices. You know how many people, bro? Exactly. Like
yeah,
shit.
but what, look, like we said, what's the saying of the show, man? What the fuck do I know? What the fuck do we know about gas prices?
Yeah,
y'all
like,
do
man,
what y'all
it's
do.
like that's it. Like you go to Texas, I was like, oh my gosh, bro, the gas prices.
$2.69.
$2.60. Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I'll say like the biggest thing, just away from gas prices. Yeah, I even pray. Like I pray on that. As I'm saying my prayer, I was like, dear Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, man, it's
We're
so
gonna make
expensive.
this a meme.
Yeah.
When the kid gets his first car, the one thing he wants to change in the world is gas prices.
That's it. I don't care about nothing else. And I always pray.
That should make you appreciate your dad even more, because when he's out here renting Sprinter vans, how much you think that shit costs? That shit was a bitch. But it was good having you, Jordan. This is one of fucking many for sure. We're gonna do this again because this was fucking great. I fuck with you guys for coming up, and we obviously got a lot to talk about. But Idle Time Podcast, Jordan fucking Lockhart, and the Wolf. Let's go.
Appreciate it.
You're going to suffer the difficulty of being invisible.
400 trillion to
I'm 50 million nobody.
But it's more important to be nice.
No, you should be capable of it.
Until I started winning.
Cause on a mission, your worst enemy is idle time.